Bang Bang Dre gang, what's good, y'all? We back in this thing. And today, I'm gonna finally post my Dragunity deck profile and deck list. And it's kind of TCG friendly outside of the Max Siege. You can actually use this in real life. So let's get to it. So for my hand traps, I have the 3 Max Siege, which can be replaced with 3 Droll and Lockbirds if you want to go TCG, or 3 Effect Bailers, right? 3 Ash Blossoms, kind of mandatory with all the Despia, Sword Souls, and all that good stuff that's going around. 2 Infinite Impermanence. You can add a 3rd one, but it's up to you. Do you, Playboy? And then we have the 2 Gammas, which you would add a 3rd one in the TCG, so it can take up one of these spots of the Max Siege if you want to, right? So then that's for the hand traps. You got the Call by the Graves, and you got the Ash Blossoms, and you got the Cypher Gear Gamma family to stop opposing Max Siege. Max Siege is technically the only really good card that stops you. Nibiru can stop you, but Nibiru can stop anybody, so we really don't count that. Max Siege just straight up hard stops you, right? Unless you want your opponent to draw, and if it's turn 2, you can power through Max Siege and make them draw 20 cards and still win. But if they got Nibiru, it is what it is. You just got to see it through, my boy. But anyway, we're gonna stay focused. So that's it for the hand trap. So let's go to the Dragunity lineup. We got 2 Tribus. Now you're wondering, why do you run Tribus? Good question. Tribus is a good opening card is if you don't have Remus, Dragunity's Revive, or Terraforming, right? Or Pot of Prosperity to get any one of these 3 cards. Because any one of these 3 cards is full combo, and that's how you win, right? The Tribus is that backup. If you summon Tribus, you can send Remus to the graveyard, right? And then you can special summon Remus because Tribus is on the field. So boom, just like that, you got a tuner and a non-tuner. You can go to Romulus. Romulus can search out Dragon's Ravine, and you can pop off from there, depending on your hand. If you got a Legatus, you can summon Tribus, send Remus, special summon Remus, and then special summon Legatus. Now, just like that, without Ravine even being needed, you have full combo. So that's why Tribus is there. You can keep it at 2. I think 2 is a good ratio. You can either even run 1 and add a 3rd Infinite Impermanence. It's up to you, really. But the card is definitely needed. It's an extra extendo. I think it's better than the other level 4 new Dragunity monster that discards a Dragunity card to special summon a tuner from the deck, because this takes no resource. It's literally just a summon. Normal or special summon, boom, just like that, full combo. The other card, I have to normal summon it. I have to discard a cost, and if I get Ash Blossom, Imperm, Effect Veiler, or anything of that nature, I go -1. And just like that, now it's a sitting duck. So there's that. So then we have the 3 Remus, self-explanatory. We got the 1 Phalanx and the 1 Dragunity cost. These are the 2 tuners that extends the deck, and this is how you go into all your boss monsters, right? You got the 2 ducks. The reason why you have 2 Dragunity ducks and not 3 is because 3 is overkill. You kind of don't want to draw it. But 2 is good because when you search it or draw it, the second one is for late games. Like if they break your board somehow, summoning this, you kind of just win just like that. 3 Legatus. The Legatus is MVP because I can have this, Tribus and Legatus, full combo. I can have Ducks and Legatus, full combo. You know what I mean? It's just a good extra summon. You just can't go wrong with it. 3, you're good to go. And even if you draw 2 in 1 turn, you can summon 1 Legatus and then special summon the second one because it's still a Dragunity name, right? So even if you got 2 in your hand, you're still full combo because you can send these to the graveyard to summon Romulus. So then we have 1 Armor Mice. The reason why you don't need any more than that is because Dragunity Glow can search out Armor Mice, and it can also search out Armor Gram. So that's it for the Dragunity monsters, for the Dragunity spells. 2 Dragunity Glows, which can be searched out with Romulus. 3 Ravine is obvious, right? That's what the deck is based off of. And that's the Spell and Trap card Dragunity lineup. So you're 1 real 1 Cyphering Driver for the Gammas. 2 Tribus, 1 Samsara Dragon. Samsara Dragon is a good extendo, and this is how you go into 4 boss monsters. 1 Phalanx, 3 Max Siege, 2 Gammas, 1 Coast, 3 Remus, 3 Ash Blossoms, 2 Dragunity Ducks, 1 Zephyros Elite, 3 Legatus, 1 Armor Mice, 1 Destructo Dragon, which you can send with Foolish Burial or Dragon Shrine, or you can discard it from a cost from Ravine, or send it with Ravine. Or you can special summon it with Heavenly Seal, just for late game plays, just in case something pops off. 1 Red MD, 1 Armogram, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Terraforming, 1 Dragon Shrine, 2 Dragunity Glows, 3 Prosperities. If you got Prosperities, even if you have Remus, you always want to activate Prosperities first just to bait out the Ash Blossom. 3 Ravines, 2 Call by the Grace, best spell in the game, and 2 Infinite Impermanence, arguably the best trap in the game. So that's it for the main deck. 42 cards, you can skim it down if you want to by getting rid of a Legatus and a Tribus. So now we're going to go to the extra deck. The extra deck is 2 Dragunity Gaze. Having 2 is good for late games where the first one gets negated by Imperm, Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, and other Fog Blades, whatever you want to name it. 1 Dragunity Knight Vag. It's just good for late games again for that second Dux. That's why you have it in the deck. You can pop off with Vag. Dragunity Knight Lewin is good for Zombie World type of decks or strategies that lock you out of types, because he doesn't need a dragon type. It's a non-tuner monster. That's it. And then you got Dragunity Knight Barcha, which this is the soul charge of the deck. Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, self-explanatory. Bull Savage Dragon, Omni Negate. Dragunity Knight Escalion. You won't ever summon this at first. This is late game play. This is when you got to get rid of the board. This is like an Access Code Talker or a Darkroom Dragon. You summon him, you plan on winning or getting rid of all of the main stuff because you're removing it from play. Dragunity Knight Area. Area is good. This is pretty much the boss monster. You'll summon this first turn with your boss monster and full board. Heretic Dragon King. This summons out Red MD from the deck. Heretic Seal. This summons any dragon from the deck, but preferably you're probably going to end up summoning one of these monsters that you didn't draw, right? And then you have the 2 Romulus. The reason why you run 2 Romulus and the reason why you run 2 Heretic Seal, you're going to use both of these in one turn, assuming you don't get stopped. 2 Romulus is for late game plays where if they break your boards, you can, let's say if you draw Tribus, summon Tribus, send Remus, and then send both those to the graveyard to summon Romulus. Romulus adds Dragunity Glow. Glow adds Armor Mice back to your hand, and Armor Mice can now summon himself, and then you can go into Escalion. And that's it for the main deck. I'll be posting videos. I'm about to post a video explaining the combos in detail. Be sure to write it down if you can't memorize it and practice in solo mode over and over mastering these combos, because it takes a lot of time. I've gotten it down to about 100 seconds, maybe even 150 seconds, depending on if they interrupt me. But it's going to take you guys dang near your whole turn. So I recommend practicing it if you can. If you're a fast learner, good for you. Do you, Playboy? But I'm just recommending. But yeah, so now we're going to get into tutorial video and combo explanation. All right, let's get to it. So now I'm going to show you full combo. So in this case, we got Remus, or some way to get Remus, right? Let's assume Pot of Prosperity, which let's just activate it for the sake of activating, right? So normally you activate Pot of Prosperity ASAP just to bait out any Ash Blossoms. And the card you would discard is, remove from play would be Lewin, Stardust, and either Romulus or Gay, because you run 2 of them, right? You run 2 Dragunity Gaze and 2 Dragunity Romulus. So I selected those 3. Let's see what cards I reveal. And just like that, you got EC. It would have been a Remus. But in this case, we're just going to add Destructo to our hand just for the sake of adding it. But let's just count it as a blank card, all right? Let's assume it got negated. So now we're going to activate Dragunity Remus effect to search out Dragunity Ravine. And then with Ravine, we're going to activate Ravine. Activate this effect to pitch a monster. And we're going to pitch Zephyros the Elite. And we're going to add a Dragunity. Do I got a Legatus in my hand already? Oh, I got a Legatus in my hand. So since I got Legatus in my hand, let's assume it would have been a Legatus, right? Matter of fact, let's just add it for the sake of adding. So we're gonna add Legatus, assuming we didn't already have this Legatus in our hand. So now we're gonna special summon Legatus. Then we're going to special summon Remus. Then we're going to synchro summon to Dragunity and Yugioh. And with Gaze effect, normally you would activate it to send Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, but luckily we drew it, so we discarded it for a cost. So now you get to have more options to send to the graveyard, right? So in this case, we're going to send Samsara ASAP. So the sequence of cards you would add and send with Dragunity and Yugioh's effect would be 1, Zephyros the Elite. That would be your ASAP thing, right? Because assuming you didn't have Zephyros the Elite, I will send it to the graveyard. Then I'll now activate Zephyros the Elite's effect to return Dragon Ravines to my hand. And remember, Dragon Ravine isn't a hard once per turn. It's only a soft once per turn. So as long as I reset it, you know, or flip it face down or reactivate it, I can use this effect again. So now we're gonna send these 2 monsters to the graveyard to summon Dragunity Nice Romulus. And keep in mind, I have yet to normal summon, and I can use Dragon Ravine again. But now we got Romulus. So now we're gonna activate Romulus effect to add Dragunity Glow to our hand. And now we're gonna activate Dragunity Glow. And Glow is going to add Dragunity Armor Mice to our hand. And now with Armor Mice, you're going to special summon it by sending Romulus to the graveyard. And the only reason why we're doing this is to 1, add Glow and send it to the graveyard, and 2, send Romulus to the graveyard for Boral Savage later. So now we're going to activate Armor Mice effect and choose Dragunity and Yugioh. Remember, you can't choose a Link monster with Glow. You can choose a Link monster, but to activate Dragunity Glow, you have to choose a monster that can be switched to defense. And Dragunity and Yugioh's effect is not a hard once per turn, so we get to get it again. So normally I would add Samsara Dragon, but I already did that the first time because I drew Zephyros to lead. So now we're going to expedite the process, and we're going to instead add Phalanx. And then we're going to send Phalanx to the graveyard. Now we're going to Exceed Summon to a rank 6 Heretic Atum. And now with Atum, you're going to, this step is important. You have to send Dragunity and Yugioh to the graveyard. Do not send Armor Mice. And now you're going to special summon Red MD, Red Eye's Darkness Metal Dragon. And use Red Eye's effect to summon Dragunity and Yugioh once more. So now we get his effect a 3rd time in 1 turn. So essentially there's 3 dragons that are being sent to the graveyard. Or winged beasts, depending on how you look at it. So in this case, I'm going to add Dragunity Ducks to my hand. And then I'm going to send Destrudo to the graveyard. That's a good thing about his effect. If I wanted to, I could have added Remus. It's a good way to add Remus, assuming you don't have Dragon's Ravine. So that you have that now, right? So now, this part is important. You're going to summon Heretic Seal, Heavenly Spear. You're going to tribute Heretic Atum and Red MD. Because they're useless at this point, right? They can't attack, and their effects are hard once per turn. And now, you remember we sent that Samsara Dragon to the graveyard? Now we're going to activate its effect. You can't skip this previous step. The reason why we tributed Atum, because Atum had Armor Mice right under it. So now, with Samsara's effect, we're going to summon by tributing Heretic Seal. And now we get a 2-for-1 special. Heretic Seal is going to special summon a dragon from the deck, and Armor Mice is going to add Phalanx. And just like that, boom. We have access to Synchro 8. And we're going to special summon Dragunity Coast. Now, assuming you didn't discard Coast from a cost or whatever, you're going to always special summon. Because you need Phalanx and Coast in the graveyard for the next step that I'm about to perform in just a second. But for right now, we're going to summon Phalanx, and then we're going to synchro into Clear Wing Synchro Drag. And we're going to send Gay and Phalanx. And boom. So that's the first boss monster. Now, we're about to get into the second boss monster. So normally, I would activate Dragon's Ravine again. I would discard a card to add Dragunity Ducks. But I expedited that step based on me drawing Zephyros or Samsara. That's the good thing about drawing those two early, is because you can expedite the steps and skip a few steps in the future. So in this case, I'm going to summon Dragunity Ducks, use Ducks effect to get Phalanx, and then I'm going to special summon Phalanx, and now I'm going to go into Boral Savage Dragon, just like that. So now we have boss monster number 2. Now you're thinking, this is a solid board. You can end with this, right? Technically, you're right. But it gets better. Just wait on it, my boy. Because you got to see it through. So now we're going to use this to get Romulus to make him 3,600. Beefed up on him again. So now, with the 2 leftover Dragunity monsters, we're going to go into the Sleeper MVP, a.k.a. Soul Charge, Dragunity Knight Archer. So there's builds that I've made that focus on Barcha and, summoning him, which I'm going to wait till Boral End Dragon comes out, and then I can show you ways to summon that monster in Dragunity deck. So now, boom, Barcha. We're going to activate Barcha's effect, and we're going to use the 2 tuners that we sent. And that's why you have to summon those tuners or send them to the graveyard ASAP, preferably without using your normal summon. Boom, just like that, and boom, just like that. So now we're gonna summon our 3rd boss monster. We're gonna use Coast and Barcha to summon the Dragunity King himself. Dragunity Knight area. And so you're thinking, all right, that's the end of your plays. No, you're wrong. So remember with the Strudo, right? So normally, I would have used Armor Ground, but in this case, we're going to use the Strudo. You can use either or, it doesn't matter. And boom, with the Strudo, just like that, we're going to summon it, and then we're going to summon our 4th boss monster, Heavenly Seal, for a 2nd time. And this will be your end board just from having 1 Remus. Remus will get you this board 9 times out of 10 every single time. And of course, I can still activate this. I still got the Ash Blossom. That's why I have my hand trap ratio, because I can still have that just in case things don't go according to plan. So, yeah. I just showed you a 1-card combo that leads to this board almost every time outside of getting interrupted. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I can post different videos on variations of when you don't open with Remus or Terraforming or Dragon's Ravine. I can show you the other combos with Dragunity Tribus. Just let me know. And yeah, finally posted the video. I hope you guys like it. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.